Hello everyone, and today in episode 2 we will be talking about network routers. In the previous video we talked about your internet, your upload and download speeds. Once you know everything's okay in that part, your internet is okay, your upload and your download speeds are okay, then you want to look at your network routing and routing equipment. So let's move over to the next screen here. And I kind of jumped the gun there. That's the wrong page I wanted to bring up. We're going to bring this up here. So here is what you would normally get from your internet service provider. So let's say like myself, for example, I have Xfinity, Comcast. So I have something similar to this here. So this unit here, you have to have something. It's called a modem. You have to have something. Whether you go with your internet service provider or you buy your own equipment, you have to have what's called a modem. This is what converts their signal into what you could use in your house, whether it's wireless or wired with data cables. And we will talk about cables in a different episode in more detail. But you have to have a modem. So unless you're going to get your own equipment, get whatever your internet service provider provides. You got a rental fee. I think mine is not that much. You get the box. With this particular unit, you also have your phone system if you get it from them, and you have your wireless and everything. So this is a complete router. If you do not have a large apartment, office, house, these are fine. They do cover a decent amount of space. You don't have a lot of control over these devices. I believe you could only set up one network, and if anyone's curious to why you would want multiple networks, drop a comment below. I might create a video going into reasons for that and how to set up multiple networks. Most people have either a basic network or their basic network and a guest network. So these, to the best of my knowledge, is just one network. Not a lot you could do with these things. Now, if you want a little bit more control and you want to be able to have internet all around your house, for example, let's say you have a larger house. Mine is actually a 2-story house, so internet on the second floor wouldn't work very well with just the Comcast box modem router. So you got these. They used to be called Google Home. I guess they're called Google Nest now or something like that. These are a mesh network. You don't have to go with Google. There are other kinds out there. But I'm using this one as an example because I like to talk about stuff I've actually used. We've used these. I work in IT, and a lot of the stuff we do involves residential homes as well. I deployed maybe these in like 18 to 20 different residential homes. They are not bad. What I do not like about these, and again, they might have changed, these are 100% off an app. So you do have your main network. You can set up a guest network. You don't have that much control. You could see stuff like, who's on the network, how much they're using. But what is nice about these is they're a mesh network. You can start with one. We bought a lot of 3-packs because if you only needed one, we used one. There's one house we used 3 because you had the Comcast set up in the basement. And then we put one on the main floor, meshed in to provide internet and wireless and everything on the main floor. And then we put one in the attic because that was fixed up. Now, if you look over here, what was nice about these, they had 2 ports. So if this was meshed in, like one of the second or third ones, you didn't need any of these ports. So you could literally use these ports, I believe one or maybe even both, to like wire in your TV or wire in a device in the other room. I used one to wire in a computer that was on the second floor when I was using something similar to this. The ones I was using was from Samsung. It wasn't the Google models. So this could be helpful, but I want to go into what I have, what we've used quite a bit, and that's the Unified. So if you look over here, this is the Unified Dream Machine Pro. This is what I actually have in my house. This is the Unified Dream Machine. We've deployed about 30 to 35 of these so far, and we're going to be doing more. And this is what I would call more of a modular system. All of these devices are from Unified. All of these devices can be added. So you could start with something as basic as just this. You still need the modem from your internet service provider, but then you could connect a Unified Dream Machine. This model actually has a built-in access point. Access points are what provide your Wi-Fi. Access point is literally access, wireless access to your network. So this is more of a all-in-one. It's your security appliance, it's your wireless appliance, it has ports, so it's also considered your switch. In more of a business configuration with your network, they prefer a separate device for every job. This is kind of taking the corporate way of doing things and the residential way of doing things and kind of combining them. It might sound like your basic router that you would get from Best Buy, and you could probably get these from Best Buy. I didn't look. But these are a little bit more advanced. You have a lot more control, and I'm gonna bring that up now. So this is my network, and you could see there's a graph here. It shows the Unified Dream Machine Pro. But one of the main things I want to focus in on here is you got real-time usage and peak usage. Now, if you look here, it says I have 200 megabits. That's my download speed. 10 megabits is my upload speed. And for the last day, the peak usage was 71.1 on the download. So download is not as excessive, but we get such a large number because, again, it is needed when you're watching Netflix, you're doing all this stuff. That's all download. Let's say you have to download an update on your iPhone or your Android. That's download. I mean, you don't want to download, and this happened to me already at work because of business networks are configured a certain way. My iPhone needed to be updated to the latest version. I think it's 15.0 now or something like that. And it's like just under a 4 gig download. It said it was going to take 3 hours. That's because we're capped off at work. But if it was here at my house, it probably would have been 3 minutes because it would utilize as much speed as it needed to do that file quickly. So download speed is still very important if you want things to be dealt with quickly. So when you're downloading files and all that stuff, upload is the opposite. You're shooting out. And if you notice here, it says 15.6. I only have 10. So to me, this is even gauging some of my usage. So this is not cool. Now, I'm recording this. So if you notice, there's barely anything being here. So if you do not have enough upload for a stream, you might want to record. If this was actually a live stream, this numbers would be a lot higher. And I was live streaming just a little while ago, and if you see here, it's more than it's saying more than what I actually have. So this gives me an idea of what's going on. So it's a good way of gauging. And what I like about this is it's modular. So let's see if I could bring this up here. So here's my main unit. And because, again, wire everything you can, I have switches in different parts of the house. So, that's on the first floor. This is on the second floor. This one's in my office, studio. I have another access point on the second floor. That's the green light behind my head. That's this one. It's wired in. It is providing a wired mesh connection to this one, which is on the first floor in my breezeway. That way all the devices in my garage and stuff like that have wireless connectivity. This is a temporary setup, and that's what I mean by modular. I literally threw this in my network to do a live stream from my backyard. So it was wirelessly meshed into the network, and then this was on my back porch, providing wireless to my backyard for I could do a live stream. And then this is the main access point for wireless on my first floor, and that's wired in. So this to me is very important. And you got your 5 gigahertz signal, your 2.4 gigahertz signal. And so it's showing you some of the things here. Now, I'm looking here, and I could swear there was a way. Oh, here we go. So now I'm going to show all my clients. So this is the devices on my network. So if you look here, and let's try to center this a bit, I have a lot of devices connected to my network. And that's why I need, in my opinion, something that's going to be solid, something that's going to be good. So these are all the different things connected to my network. And if I show you here, I have multiple networks. Now, the only one on right now is my main one. Because of my job and other things, I sometimes turn on temporary ones for I could program devices to work properly and all that stuff. But I have multiple networks on here. Wi-Fi SSIDs. Let me make sure I say that properly. Wi-Fi SSIDs with their own passwords. I could actually create multiple networks, but I only have the one. So I could create multiple networks. I could work with my security. I mean, there's a lot. So these are all the devices on here. I mean, this visibility alone is another reason why I prefer this type of network. And it's not as difficult to work with like a corporate one. So hopefully there's some interesting information there. Again, this channel is just about trying to keep things a little bit more basic, trying to give a better understanding of some things like, your network, how your network works, how it relates to certain things, the internet speeds, the devices you use. At some point, we may discuss different cables and why cables are important, the type of cables you use. And yeah, so again, thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. I am going to try, because again, I'm like most of everybody, new to some of this stuff, learning as I go. I'm going to try to put on here somewhere a link or something to go to the previous video. And as I continue to create more videos, I'll have like previous and other previous whatever. Again, trying to keep it basic, trying to cover as much as possible. I'm going to put a link somewhere in the description of the website I just made with links to any other information. I got a Facebook that I started for this. So little by little, we're going to create. You guys are going to learn with me, grow with me, and hopefully we could work together as a community and teach each other and just continue to grow. That's it for this episode. I will be posting a new one probably every Sunday, if possible. And I plan to go live once a month for any kind of Q&A or just to hang out for a few minutes, probably towards the end of the month of every month. Thank you, and see you in the next one.